Man is born free, and everywhere he is in chains. I prefer liberty with danger to peace with slavery. Insults are the arguments employed by those who are in the wrong. Patience is bitter, but its fruit is sweet. Virtue is a state of war, and to live in it we have always to combat with ourselves. Those who are most capable of being moved by passion are those who can most successfully wield it. We are born weak, we need strength; helpless, we need aid; foolish, we need reason. The world of reality has its limits. The world of imagination is boundless. To renounce liberty is to renounce being a man. Conscience is the voice of the soul. The passions are the voice of the body. The strongest is never strong enough unless he can turn his strength into right and obedience into duty. Force does not constitute right. Obedience is due only to legitimate powers. It is unnatural for a majority to rule, for a majority can seldom be organized and united for specific action, and a minority can. When the people shall have nothing more to eat, they will eat the rich. Money and power follow the person who knows where he is going. We do not know what is really good or bad fortune. I may not eat better than other people, but at least I'm different. It is not the criminal things that are hardest to confess, but the ridiculous and shameful. The first man who, having fenced off a plot of land, thought of saying, "This is mine," and found people simple enough to believe him, was the real founder of civil society. The mind once enlightened cannot again become dark. Our greatest evils flow from ourselves. The more we love, the more we suffer. We should not teach children the sciences, but give them a taste for them. The art of being a slave is to rule one's master. Man is naturally good, and it is society that corrupts him. To be sane in a world of madness is in itself madness. I can only be happy with her, and yet I am not. Everything is good as it comes from the hands of the author of nature, but everything degenerates in the hands of man. Insults are the arguments employed by those who are in the wrong. Love ceases to be a pleasure when it ceases to be a secret. I would rather be a man of paradoxes than a man of prejudices. It is not true that men are naturally equal, but it is true that they are made equal by their Creator. The person who has lived the most is not the one with the most years, but the one with the richest experiences. The general will is always right, but the judgment which guides it is not always enlightened. I feel, therefore I exist. To live is not merely to breathe, it is to act, to make use of our organs, senses, faculties, of all those parts of ourselves which give us the feeling of existence. One can only desire what one knows. The greater part of our miseries are self-inflicted. Man is not free unless government is limited. Our real blessings often appear to us in the shape of pains, losses, and disappointments. A true conqueror is he who can make himself superior to his own errors and passions. The strongest is never strong enough to be always the master, unless he transforms strength into right and obedience into duty. He who is not every day conquering some fear has not learned the secret of life. The man who has sufficient power over himself To wait until his nature has recovered its even balance is the truly wise man, but such beings are seldom met with. We are subject to the necessity of believing that we are subject to no necessity. To endure is the first thing that a child ought to learn, and that which he will have the most need to know. Pity is a natural sentiment which, by moderating in each individual the activity of self-love, contributes to the mutual preservation of the whole species. When we are no longer attached to things, we are attached to ourselves and draw our standards from within. Happiness, a good bank account, a good cook, and a good digestion. The more I see of the representatives of the people, the more I admire my dogs. Liberty consists in the power of doing that which is permitted by the law. People who know little are usually great talkers, while men who know much say little. Sovereignty cannot be represented for the same reason that it cannot be alienated. Opinion has caused more trouble on this little earth than plagues or earthquakes. Friendship is an arrangement by which we undertake to exchange small favors for big ones. The spirit of moderation should also be the spirit of the lawgiver. There is no subjection so perfect as that which preserves the appearance of freedom. The passage from the state of nature to the civil state produces a very remarkable change in man. The person who loves others has fulfilled the law. The more I love humanity in general, the less I love man in particular. When virtue and modesty enlighten her charms, the luster of a beautiful woman is brighter than the stars of heaven, and the influence of her power it is in vain to resist. Laws are always useful to those who possess, and vexatious to those who obey. The world of reality has its limits. The world of imagination is boundless. There is but one law which, from its nature, needs unanimous consent. One must be wise to love wisely. A feeble body weakens the mind. I am not made like any of those I have seen. I venture to believe that I am not made like any of those who are in existence. If I am not better, at least I am different.